All right, so it's been a while since I've created a video, and there's a lot of reasons for that, but I think one of the main reasons is that I just haven't known what I wanted to create videos about, because my agency, my business has been going through a lot of change, and I've been trying to figure out, like, who am I helping in this new version of my business going forward? How am I helping them, and who is it? And I've been stuck on this niche thing, right? And because of that, I haven't even wanted to create content, because I've been like, well, I don't want to create content that's not for my ideal person, and I don't want to do it wrong, and I'm not going to, just like so much in my head. And then yesterday, I hop on a call with a coach. We were going over his content and his marketing and like trying to help him, how he can get more sales and all these kind of things. And one of the things that he said was a roadblock for him is that he's been trying to niche down for 6 months. So I sat down, and over the next hour, we went through all of this stuff, and we figured out who it is he's helping and all of these things. He got a lot of clarity, and I think it's really going to help him move forward in his business. But I came out of that call and I was like, how funny is this? Everything that I said to this guy was what I needed to hear. It's what I've been struggling with. It's why I haven't been able to create content, because I haven't had clarity. And since I haven't had clarity, I haven't had ideas. And I've created this extra friction, and this thing that I really wanted to do, I haven't been doing. Have you ever felt that? You have something you're trying to do, you have something you're struggling with, and then one day, like, you realize you know the answer. Maybe you know what to do and you're just not doing it. Or maybe one day you have this aha moment. You're like, I know what to do. I've always known what to do. And that's kind of how I felt. But I've gone on this journey of trying to better understand my ideal customer and my niche and how I'm serving people. And I've done a lot of research. And so today I want to share all of that with you, because I think it's going to be helpful. And I think this is one of those things that most coaches deal with. In this internet marketing world that we live in with social media and all this stuff, you have every single guru out there telling you that you need to niche down, because if you're trying to talk to everyone, you're talking to no one. You need to talk to somebody very, very specific. That's not natural, and it's not right. Like, that's not really how this works. So I want to give you a simpler framework for figuring out your niche and who your ideal client is and the problem that you solve for them and how you can make all of this work. But the first thing that I want you to know is that when we talk about niching, generally we look at it as a person and a problem. There is this person who has these different characteristics. They're male, they're female, they're in this age range, they're parents, they're single, they're overweight, they like sports, they drink wine, whatever it is. Like, all of these things, we make this customer avatar, the magic avatar. We write it all down on paper. We go through this exercise. We spend a lot of time figuring out who this person is and how we help them solve the problem. But that's not really the most effective way to niche, because not everybody will fit into that thing. And you do want to talk to one person. I'm going to explain to you how that works. But really, if you want to stand out, it's not about niching down so small that you're talking to this one individual. It's about solving a problem and adding your personality, because so much of sales and content and engagement is about trust. Do I like and know this person? Do I trust them? Here's the deal. The things that you're interested in, the things that you might be slightly embarrassed about, that might be a little bit weird about you, there's so many people in this world. And so all of those things, there's going to be people that have those same interests, that have those same weird things, right? So you got to fly your freak flag. You got to show that, because that's what's going to attract and repel people. And the reality is, and I have this written down because I want to remember it, the people you can help most have the same interest and goals that you do. And because they have the same goals, they have the same problems. So keep that in mind as we go through this journey and we talk about developing your niche and figuring out who the ideal person that you want to work with is, because you don't need to overthink this. You need to solve a problem and then share your personality. I've talked about solving a problem a couple of times, and so I want to really get into that, because this is the first thing that you have to figure out. Your offer and your content, like whatever it is you're selling, whether it's a service or a product, digital, physical, whatever it is, it's solving a problem. That's what sales are, solving problems for other people. So you have to know, what is the problem that you solve, right? How are you helping people? What is the outcome you're getting? And the way that we're going to niche down and we're going to figure out what our offer is and also what our content is about is we want to help one person, one place on their journey, get one outcome. You got to think about, what is the problem you solve? And if you don't know what that is, then I want to take you through this journey. And this is an exercise that I actually learned at a conference recently from a lady named Martha Creaky. She's really awesome. She's on Instagram, has some great content. And so the idea here is that our ideal client, the person that we want to work with, is actually a past version of ourselves that has already solved the problem that we help people solve. And when you do that, it takes a lot of the problems out of it, because you don't have to invent this person. You don't have to overthink it. It's just you. How did you overcome this problem? My first business that I ever had was an online fitness business. And I saw an opportunity to make some money online and to help pay off the $200,000 of student loans that I was going to have by the time I got out of law school. And what happened is, between my first year of law school and my second year of law school, I went on this weight loss journey. I lost over 50 pounds and had a six-pack. Looked like a totally different person. I'm pretty short, like 5'9". And so that 50 pounds went from me looking like incredibly overweight and having this massive beer gut to a six-pack. And a lot of the big changes happened from the end of the first year to the start of my second year. So over that summer. And so when I came back, my face looked so different. My body looked different. People were like, what did you do? How did you do that? Can you show me how to do that? And those became my first clients. They were law students and professors and lawyers and business owners and people in that community that saw the transformation I went through and was like, how did you do that? And that's how a lot of businesses start, because people ask us how we did something, and we help them solve that problem because we've always solved it. We've already solved it. And so what you want to do, if you don't know the problem that you're solving yet, you want to find it. And the easiest way is to do Martha's exercise. And what she said was, put your arm out like this and imagine that your arm is a timeline. This is your life. Okay. And you could do this in the same way. You could just get a piece of paper and you could draw a line and put little hash marks and you're going to write on it. But we'll just use the arm for illustration purposes so you can see it. So you have the arm. And so you're going to put these hash marks on your timeline. And these are going to be big moments in your life where you solved a problem for yourself, where there was something that you wanted to know and you obsessed over and you got really curious about, and you started reading books and watching videos and doing Google searches, and you were trying to figure out how to do this thing. And you're going to write out, what are all the things in your life? What are all the problems that you solved? Okay? And then you're going to find the one where you feel like you can have the most impact. Maybe it had the most impact on your life. Maybe it's the one that you enjoy talking about the most, right? It's the one that you could see yourself building your life and your business around. And that is going to be the thing that you are going to help people with. Now, for me, fitness was a big milestone on my journey, right? Other big milestones were leaving my legal career, my online business, right? Doing clients. I actually pivoted from fitness to marketing because I realized that as I figured out digital marketing and social media advertising to grow my fitness business, I realized that I enjoyed marketing and business more than I enjoyed teaching people about fitness. I can talk about building business. I can talk about the money and the leads and the sales and all those things. No problem, right? I felt resistance talking about fitness. So you can look at your timeline and go, where's that time in my life? What was that problem I solved for myself? And that's going to be your problem. And your one person is the person that you were before you solved that problem, okay? And this means that your offer is the system that you used, or that you're going to put what you did into a system that helped you get from point A to point B and now helps other people get from point A to point B. And your content is you talking to your past self about, these are the things that you need to do to get out and to get that result. These are the problems you're facing, and here's how you solve those problems, right? Talking to that past self. And now it becomes much easier because you're just talking to you. You're giving you the advice. You are the customer avatar. You don't have to really work that hard to think about what the problems that you had were, or that you currently have are, because you're you. You know them. You can write them down as you run into them in your day-to-day. Just like me doing this video where I knew I was having a hard time creating. I was having a hard time speaking, like, who am I helping and how am I helping them? And then as I just applied this 10 years of marketing knowledge and everything that I've learned about sales and offers and, and growing business and things, and I'm applying this to this coach, I went, oh gosh, I was just speaking to myself. I was just talking about things I had a problem with. So that's the first thing. You figure out your problem. So now that you know the problem you're going to solve, and you've realized that your ideal client is just past you and helping them solve that problem you solve for yourself, this becomes a lot easier. And it takes a lot of the friction out of what you're doing too. And it eliminates one of the biggest problems that coaches face when they're first starting out. And that's imposter syndrome, because we're creating content and we're speaking on this thing that we're passionate about. We're trying to help people. And in the back of your head, no matter how successful you are, you go, am I qualified to do this? I'm not a big name like that guy. I don't have a PhD like this person, right? You compare yourself to other people, and it stops you from working. And it's hard. We all deal with that. It doesn't matter how far along in your journey you are, how much money you've made, how successful or famous you are. We all deal with imposter syndrome. But when you realize that you're helping your past self and you're writing this content to your past self, and in doing so, you're speaking to all of the other people that are like you and have the same interests and the same goals, the imposter syndrome kind of goes away because you are fully qualified to help yourself get to where you are today. You've already done it. Just the same way that you're fully qualified to help the person that is on stage 1 of their journey get to stage 2 or to stage 3 where you are today. You only have to be a couple steps ahead of them. And in fact, it's better. Another thing that I learned at this conference from Martha that I want to share because I thought it was super helpful was if you want to be in the conversation in your space, you have to teach the basic 101 level stuff, right? That's what it is required to even be part of the conversation. You might know a ton of advanced stuff and all of these different things, but your content that brings awareness to you and helps people discover you, if you want it to have reach, if you want it to go viral, if you want it to grow your following, then you need to talk about the basic 101 level stuff. And you need to create videos about things like finding your niche that in your mind you might go like, this isn't that big a deal, but it is. Because something that to you might seem simple because you've solved it or spent a lot of years studying it or practicing it, but it is mind-blowing or difficult to another person because they aren't where you are yet. And so we got to speak to this beginner level stuff. Now, there's one more piece to this. I said earlier, we're speaking to one person at one point on their journey and we're helping them achieve one outcome. And this is really important, the journey outcome piece, because a lot of times once we figure out who that we're helping and how we help people, sometimes people will come to us with other related problems. And we want to help everyone, but we can't help everyone. You're going to have such an easier time growing your business if you have a singular message and a singular offer and a singular funnel. Notice the theme here, everything is 1-1-1. When you have your person and you know the problem you're solving or the outcome you're delivering, you need to identify what is the one place in their journey that they're at and where they need to go. So in the business context, for example, you're speaking to a different person if you're helping them start a side hustle or grow to 10K a month or grow to 100K a month. Those are different parts on the journey. And you might have the knowledge and the skill set to help everyone with all of those things, but you shouldn't. You should get really clear. You're just going to make it harder on yourself. Become known for the one thing. Become really well known for that. And start to get authority in that space. Get authority for helping people that are on this single point in their journey achieve a specific outcome. And then once you've really become known for that, then you can start to put other stuff in there. But start there. And if you do this, you simplify the whole process and you're going to have a lot more success. You're going to get more sales. You're going to have easier time creating content. Your content's going to go more viral. You're going to generate more leads. It makes everything easier. So at this point, you have the information that you need in order to figure out what your niche is, probably to gain a lot more clarity for your offer and also for your content. But here's the thing. You might still get stuck because you're going to second guess yourself and you might not be sure. Is this exactly who I want? I've been feeling that. That's one of the reasons I created this video, because I was like, I need to show up, I need to show it, and I need to help this person that's in the place that I've been. And so what I want you to do is, I don't want you to overthink this. I want you to watch this video, take some notes, get a general idea, and then I want you to go. I want you to pick a direction and I want you to start. I want you to start creating content for that person, start helping those people. And there's a couple of reasons for this. Number one, you can change your mind. It's totally cool. Doesn't matter if you change your mind. You might go through this process and find your real direction. But if you pick a direction and you start walking to it, you're going to be closer to where you want to be when you end up. I want you to think about this. I live in Texas. This is a big state. So if I want to walk from here in the hill country outside of Austin down to Houston, I don't have to know exactly how to get there. If I have a general idea of the direction and I start kind of walking in that direction, and then as I go, I stop and I ask for directions and I kind of like autocorrect, I'm going to get there eventually. I might not get there as fast as if I had the perfect path where I could just walk in a straight line from point A to point B, from Austin to Houston. But the amount of time it would take me to research and find that perfect path, pretend you don't have a GPS, come on guys. The amount of time it would take me to figure out the perfect path and then start. If I had just started walking southwest and then figuring it out as I go, I would get there much sooner because I started the journey. And that's what you need to do. Start the journey and then tweak it and course correct as you go. Okay. So that's the first part. The second part about this is that like all of these algorithms are the same in the sense that like it takes time for them to figure out what your content is about and who you're helping and who they should show your videos to, right? I think the average number of videos that you need to put on YouTube is like 35 to 50 videos, almost a year's worth of content before they figure out who you are. So create content the best you can for this person. And if it changes a little bit over time, congratulations. You're like every other creator in the world. You will figure it out as you go. So don't let trying to decide and trying to get it perfect hold you back. And on that note, I want to help you figure it out faster and to be able to create a feedback loop so you can figure out like what your content is and what is working and what's not, and be growing your audience rapidly. And the other thing I want to do for you is I want to help you. I'm going to share a way with you that you can start trying on this new niche and you can create content, try and help these people, and you can be building your audience pretty rapidly and getting feedback about what kind of content works and what resonates and what you like and what you don't like, and starting to figure this out in a really safe way where you don't have to worry about people judging you or like your friends seeing you on Facebook or whatever, where it's not very public. All right. You're very lucky right now because there's this thing called TikTok. And it's this weird place where it's a safe place for you to create content because all of your content goes to people that have never heard of you. 99% of your content goes to the For You page, which is people who have no idea who you are instead of it going to your followers. And most of your friends and your family and people like that aren't going to be on TikTok. And even if they aren't going to see your content because they're interested in different things and the feed is so personally tailored. And your content, although it has massive potential for growth and building your audience and leads, and there are videos that can work for you long term, it's similar to Twitter in the way that like you can post a piece of content and it's out there in the public and it performs for a little while and people see it and then it kind of disappears. It fizzles away. And so if it's a bad piece of content, it's going to disappear and nobody's ever going to see it again. So there's no pressure. TikTok is a great place for you to start testing out content for your niche and to start generating leads, and the growth potential on there is insane. You can start making so much money for your coaching business on this, and it's a great way for you to figure out where you're going, to figure out all of this stuff we talked about today. And so if you want to check it out, I want you to watch this video where I show you the exact system. In this video, I'm saying, hey, here's how to go from 0 to 1,000. But like I said, I haven't been creating content. I'm over 50,000 followers on TikTok now and have made a lot of money from it. And this video shows you exactly what I do. So check it out.